It's a box review. But I let this one fall. Spartacus. He likes to lick and bite. Hey, Bryon Lape, BryonLape.com. Welcome back, my fellow viewers. I love the comments. Some of you have been sending me messages. It's great. The Lape TV's kind of expanded now. We do all kinds of things. Some people are liking it. Some people think it's crazy, but that's okay. I've got new subscribers. I've got people following me on Twitter. Brain Muffin on Twitter. I'll put all the links below. Flickr, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, this was September, right, Ellie? Right? Yeah. This was the September Jacked in a Box for Muscle and Fitness, and like I said in the previous one, I do not get these free like some other people who then trash all the products that's in here. But I'm also not a believer in hype. So I would love to say, I got 25 pounds of lean muscle from eating this stuff and burned off 30 pounds of fat. So I don't know. That reminds me, I'll get the exact specs and I'll put it in the description, but at the gym I go to, we have this, it's ultrasonic, I believe, for measuring fat. And a year ago, not even a year ago, 6 months ago, when the guy that was the manager showed me how to use that thing, he had me use the normal mode as opposed to athlete. Well, I looked up on the manufacturers, I found their PDF, and basically they have this chart that you have to score 60 or higher to be considered athletic or athlete, and then below 60 as you do normal. When I do that, depending on how I rank my intensity of workouts, I either get a 60 or an 80. So I want to believe that I should be on the athlete setting. When I do the athlete setting after, and I do it after a workout, I probably need to start doing it before, but the app I use, the multi-year app I use, has you record that stuff last. That's why I do the weight and that's last. So that tells me 60 or 80 that I should be on the athlete. When I did that this last, yesterday in fact, when I do normal, I'm around 20 to 21%. In fact, I measured, I think, 20.1 yesterday. When I flip it to athlete, it says 17% body fat. So I don't really know what the difference is and how. I was actually expecting to go up. So maybe I'm somewhere in between. Maybe I'm 18. I feel slightly leaner than I've been. Some of my pants are baggy, some pants aren't. So it's hard to know, really. But anyway, so the September box, we had the unboxing video, was fairly popular. Some people asked me some questions about some of the products in there. That spurred me on to do some other product reviews. There are two products in here I have not reviewed on my blog explicitly. Mainly, I've just been too lazy. I would love to have a real reason. I've got several people on Facebook that are like, when are you going to do those other two products that are in that box? So if you check out BryonLape.com, you can find my reviews of all but two products, so I'll get that published soon. But anyway, so it had an advertisement. Had a Freudian slip with this earlier. We'll put it in the blooper reel. This one on the back, this Probolic SR, was not, there's nothing in here for that. The pudding is in here. So I might as well start with this since it's got a nice pretty girl, very fit. Looks like she could kick my butt easily. I mean, I am 46 years old, so it really wouldn't take much. So anyway, that was the pudding, the lean pudding. Fit and lean. This was decent. I would love to try the high test. I forget how much sugar the difference is and how much protein. 30 grams of protein. So this is essentially half the size of the full. And that may be part of why it's fit and lean. I don't know. I used to mix, I've done plain Greek yogurt and I've done vanilla Greek yogurt and a protein powder, usually vanilla flavor, sometimes banana, various, depends on what I want to do. A scoop, and usually about a cup of the yogurt. And that was a really good way to get protein in, another protein, especially if you get a Greek yogurt that's got the probiotic enzymes and things in it so that you can get your bacteria and all that, so your stomach can absorb it all very well. When you increase your protein, you got to make sure that you increase your fiber. because your colon is going to, especially if you're getting your protein from bulk. If you're doing whey, you're still going to want some, but at some point you're going to get sick of drinking your protein. You're going to want 6 chicken breasts in a day and 2 dozen eggs or whatever, and rice, and brown rice and regular rice and whatever. Definitely eat a salad amongst there. It's a more expensive, but I actually get this bag of, it's a mixture. It's got some cabbage in it. It's got shredded carrots. It tends to have iceberg lettuce. Sometimes they have spinach. What's nice about it, basically, I do half that bag as just a separate salad in between meals. Sometimes I do 2 a day when I remember to, and that's better for it. Anyway, this was good. It's not something I would buy just because it's fit and lean and it tastes like it has an artificial sweetener in it. And I'm not keen on artificial sweeteners. I'd rather have sugar, which I do as little as possible anyway. So I like the idea, but not a winner for me. So let's go to this one. So this was the Optimum Nutrition Proplex, and yes, I've been getting those comments that I can't say Optimum correctly, and I don't know why. Must be because I'm old. I noticed my German accent's gotten pathetic too. My French one's still good, even though I know far, far, far less French. So anyway, Pro Complex, I think this was vanilla flavor, if I remember correctly. Yes, creamy vanilla. This was decent. It's not, again, not a product I would buy. It doesn't mix well with water. It's kind of weak. Owens, a lot of their stuff does not mix well with water, and I believe it's because they don't have a lot of the milk, sugars, and other things in it that would thicken up in water and make it more tasty in water. And this was, I found this a little bit on the sweet side for me. I mean, it's less than 1 gram of sugar, so it's not like it has lots of sugar in it or anything. But I'm very particular about my vanilla flavors, and some vanillas are just too over the top for me, and this is one of them. If you really, really like vanilla, it smells pretty good. If you really like vanilla, check this one out. So the other thing we did was the Rev test. Now this was 7 packets, and you took 2 capsules in a packet, so it's a week's worth. This smells like, I don't know, it reminds me of celery seed. If you ever get the spice celery seed and smell it, this is what it reminds me of, and kind of on steroids, if it were. This worked fairly well. Again, I don't have a blood testosterone result before and after. I'm trying to get, I am due for a checkup, so I'm actually going to get that with my doctor. And what I'd love to do is see how much it's going to cost me to get the test done, do something like this for, say, 2 weeks or a month, and then get the test done again and see if it really made a difference. It did help with my energy level a little bit. It did help with burning fat, but a lot of it's just anecdotal. I don't have any hard science that said this thing rocked hard and worked very well. So now we have the No Explode. Now this one, this company, I think they're just nuts. And I don't want to lick my fingers. This has 1.5 servings in here, and by God, believe me, unless you are drinking caffeine all day long, which I don't, this is Explode is right. This stuff kept me up for a long time, and I did half a dose. I mean, half of I did what you're supposed to do, and then but the caffeine, I mean, it's just crazy. What all it has in it. This stuff, you talk about a tingle, the niacin tingle flush and all that. Very good. Not as much as taking actual niacin, which I've started doing, and I've discovered that this stuff will flush unexpectedly, especially on a time-release basis. So once I'm through this bottle, I'm going to get something else. And I'm down to like 1/4 of a dose of that stuff. But decent flavor. If you try other pre's and you're like, yeah, they don't do anything for me, I don't feel anything, I don't get a pump, try this puppy. And if you don't get a pump of this, you may want to check your, get your heart checked or something, because this thing, and absolutely do not exceed the recommended dose on this, please. It's very good, and anyway. But if you're looking for that pump, which a lot of people are, I'm not really looking for the pump. What I'm looking for is to get the muscle energy. I don't need the caffeine. This is why I'm not a real big on pre-workouts, because of the caffeine. But getting the niacin, the leucine, and all the however you say that, getting some vitamin B, getting all that stuff into your muscles so that you don't fatigue halfway through a workout. So if no other pre works for you, get this one. The other thing I did do, and I did talk about this, is I did put two of these together, and it's these two. This creature, this beast creature, is a post-workout, and this was a pre-workout. This doesn't have as much caffeine as some of the other ones. It's only 125 milligrams of caffeine. It's only one serving in here, and this was a serving afterwards. This worked very well. I didn't like the flavor. This was the pink lemonade. It was too easy to get weak, so you got to watch the water content. The flavor was okay. Flavor on both these were okay. But this I liked as a pre-workout. This is something that I would do again, even with the caffeine. Lift Tag and this. Now these are not companies they're separate companies, and obviously I'm not getting paid a dime by anybody. But in my book, if you're looking for a good balance of a pre and post, and by post, you'll basically, as soon as you've gotten enough water and cooled down enough to drink something, take this. And then go and have your protein shake or whatever, go home and cool down a little bit more and whatever. This has got branched chain aminos. It has all the pieces that you're looking for except the protein. Has some creatine in it, I do believe, if I remember correctly. It's been like 3 weeks since I took all this stuff. But to me, this entire box was worth getting these two together. And this is definitely, if I were stacking and I was into stacking, this is definitely something I would look at. Or at least look at the combination of pieces, the things that are in here, the B vitamins and other pieces. This is decent flavor. This also has creatine monohydrate. I think it's 2 grams. This has got, I think, about 2 grams or so. So you're getting about 5 grams between the two, post and pre and post workout. So you'd want 5 grams from something else, but still very good. And the last thing in here, I do believe, and let's get rid of the woman here, is Super Pump 3.0, the ultimate pre-workout intensity muscle builder. This was pretty good. This tasted well. This dissolved well. Again, I'm not really big on getting a pump for a pre-workout. I want the energy. I want the stamina. So I know I'm looking under my glasses because I don't feel like taking them off. It's got the branched chain aminos you need. It's got some B10, B12, some B6. It's got the niacin, which is B3. So this was pretty good. Got a nice tingle with it. I got to feel it pretty well. It's not like any of these products made me just suddenly bust through and set PRs on everything. In fact, I set a PR a week after I had taken any of this stuff on squats, 2 reps at 195, which has been a pain point for a while, and a literal pain point. My lower back just isn't cared for it, and I've had to strengthen it in other ways and work on my core very strong. So anyway, I mean, it's a product that if I was looking for a pre-workout, I would say definitely try this one. It has good flavor. This was the Strawberry Kiwi Blast. Everything's got red. Oh, there is one more, see? And that's the Assault MP. This was pretty good. This was the Raspberry Lemonade, which is a little bit different in flavor as opposed to some pink, so I knew there was something missing. Assault, it comes in this little packet. It's made by Muscle Farm. Decent product. Definitely one that if I was looking for a caffeine infused pre, I would seriously consider this one. I don't know what any of these cost, and that's what it come down to. A lot of them is, can you afford them? What's the best ones you can get? And I've heard all kinds of experts who will say, well, really, you just need chocolate milk, or you need this or that. I would stay away from that. Me personally, number one, the milk's kind of heavy. Number two, most chocolate milk, especially if it's manufactured, is sweetened with corn syrup, and high fructose corn syrup at that. You don't want that crap in your body ever if you can avoid it. And it's too much sugar. To me, it's just too much sugar. I'm working really hard to get the fructose fat off of my body. Why do I want to take some beforehand? A lot of this stuff has little to no sugar in it, and that's, for me, what I would look for. I'm personally looking for the vitamin B and some branched chain aminos, maybe just a tiny bit of sugar, especially if it has creatine monohydrate in it. So now, oh great, now I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff still on me. But that's what I do, and that's what I go for. I don't go for the sugar, but also don't want the caffeine. I tend to work out after work, and I don't need to be up till midnight. So, but if you're working out at the beginning of the day, maybe the caffeine kick is great for you. A lot of it is try. This is what I like about the idea of these boxes, is I can try different products. And unfortunately, sometimes they don't have enough samples. Some of these I need 2 or 3 samples to really see, do I want to go spend $40 on a pre-workout or a post-workout for a month? And sometimes there's not enough, but we'll see. So we're waiting for the October box to show up. As soon as it does, we'll shoot an unboxing, and we'll say reserve all the snide comments. I think any of these products are good. There's nothing that I would say is garbage and you should just toss it away. But I'm glad to have tried all these products, and I'm glad the manufacturers have put this in a box. Now granted, like I said, I pay for them. But if any manufacturers out there that want a honest to goodness average Joe trial of their products, absolutely look me up. If by any weird chance I got picked up as a sponsor, I would absolutely 100% tell you right from the start who's paying me to say stuff. I'm not going to hide, but I would never allow myself to be sponsored by somebody who, if their product was crap, I couldn't say that. Because I think it's, I've heard enough garbage in and around the fitness industry. I mean, I've been working out seriously for off and on for 20 years. I've seen all kinds of things come and go, and life's too short to be dishonest, and I don't need money that badly to lie to people. So anyway, there we go. I liked most all of them. Some I would buy, some I wouldn't, but that's my personal preference. There you have my review. Please subscribe. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the messages you guys have been sending. Thanks for the retweets. Thanks for the favorites. Love it. Thank you very much. And we'll see you in the gym.